Stezo Radio is for adults only.
The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. Well, it's that radio show where we go toe to toe. Hot topic, dropping knowledge straight from Chicago, and it's our point of view. So tell me what you gon' do. Drop a line, don't be lying, trying to get with the crew. Cause we be talking them facts, exposing them fiction. Man, it's so real that we be causing some friction. Probably something you missing, ain't no need to be dissing. Just relax here and listen, because we spitting and simping. The Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show.
Younggin, Curt, that nigga, Nola Fox, Flint the Pimp, Ricky, Bobby, Shorty got him, Ancient Curt, and Remy. Alright, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Stezo Radio. Debate with the Great Eight. I'm going to start saying if you dare. Some of y'all inbox questions and comments. It's kind of funny.
Don't leave any voicemails.
yeah,
we don't do voicemails.
That's Stezo Petty right there. You had to be here to get that one. Alright, let's get to these intros, man. Go.
That nigga back at the round table.
And that's nigga with a A, not an ER.
What's going on? It's residential Younggin Curt, also known as Juice Banner. I'm going as Juice Banner by now.
Juice Banner or Banner?
Juice Banner. Banner. Like,
Juice Banner?
Yeah, like Bruce Banner.
This nigga say Juice Banner?
Bruce Jenner. Juice Banner.
This nigga said Juice Banner.
Yeah, keep it real. Follow me underscore Curt SR.
Oh, you at the strip club, nigga. What the fuck? Juice Banner.
Juice Banner.
That nigga gonna be at Magic City.
Right.
It's your boy Short at the table, though. Don't follow me on nothing.
They can't follow you no more?
I done changed all my damn names. Can't change
Yeah,
it back.
you got warrants or something. You change your shit a lot.
Yeah, this nigga finna skip town again in a minute. So
Oh yeah,
he ain't been here in like what?
but
4 months
that's
now?
for you know
A whole
Yeah, right.
better future.
Oh, okay. I'm finna say, don't say too much. We record.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We gonna get into a topic that's been going on in Chicago. We had an incident where a teenager who was going to a charter school, and we got to emphasize charter school, was denied access to school one day because he did not have the proper attire. He didn't have his bow tie. And I'm not trying to make light of it. It's
Right.
a uniform code, and he was missing the bow tie. Now, when he was denied access, him, a friend, and the mother of the friend left school, and while walking back home, they were, I don't know if because they didn't get into it. Some guys rode up in the car.
I thought it was just like a drive-by. I thought it was just a drive-by.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to make it seem like they,
Yeah, I think it was just a drive-by.
yeah. So drove up, started shooting at them. We don't know why yet. They're being kind of quiet on the story and investigation so far in Chicago. But during the shooting, the kid that was denied access was killed and pronounced dead at the hospital. And the media up here,
Do we have his name?
No, they didn't release. I think because he's a minor.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, the minors. I don't think they really do.
And media up here is really pointing the blame at the school for not letting him in over the bow tie. Now, me personally, I can't blame the school for the kid being killed, because we know Chicago gun violence, gang violence is just.
True.
You always want to point blame, and sometimes, not true. Had he been in school, he wouldn't have been shot at during that time.
Right.
But we still don't know why they were shooting at him.
Right.
We don't know if he was the target, the mother, the friend.
Yeah.
We really don't know. So I'm going to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about the dress code or him being denied because of a bow tie?
Well, I actually like the dress code, the structure in it. I like it because it's put in there for structure and also for other reasons. Responsibility, looking a certain way. But also I know in public schools, it was because certain kids couldn't afford certain clothing, and people were talk, and the kids are talking about each other. You can't talk about each other. Everybody got the same thing going, right? So that, I think that's where it really initially started. But now the charter schools, they have it where they trying to make you look like a young adult, so to speak. I think it's responsibility. I don't know why the young brother didn't have a bow tie that day. Right. I also don't understand, like I think what we were saying earlier, why that the school don't have an alternative thing for that. Like, you could rent a bow tie, or we have extra bow ties, but we give you a demerit, or something like that. As far as blaming the school for, or putting some kind of onus on the school because the kid got shot, I disagree with that. Right. 100%. You know, that was just, you know, something that's just unfortunate. But I don't put any onus on the school because of it.
The way I look at it, I wholeheartedly agree with what that nigga is saying. I don't hold the school responsible for his death. Is definitely an unfortunate event, but I do think the school needs something to be in place in the event something like that happens. Right. Me and Short, we went to the same high school, and our uniform was pretty much just having our ID. And you know, if you came to school without, you know, your ID, or you didn't have your lanyard or something like that to properly have it displayed, there were other measures that the school took. You know what I'm saying? Whether they gave you like a little temporary ID to put, you know, on your shirt or whatever, or they, you know, cashed you out for like a buck or two to get a new lanyard or get your ID replaced or anything like that. So I think, especially when you think about something like a charter school where they're more preppy, dress shirt, slacks, shoes, tie, certain accessories that the school is demanding of the students to wear, they should have something in place where if a student doesn't have it, or they can't afford it, or it's like one day they end up coming to school without, you know, they bow tie or they tie for whatever reason, the school should have extra tie, you know, to give to their students, you know, and there should be some type of guidelines, like, you know, if you don't have the money to buy a new tie, you could rent a tie for the day, we'll put that on your school fees or whatever have you. But to solely blame the school for his death, I don't think that it's the school's fault. Like granted, had he been in somebody's classroom at that time, he wouldn't have got shot, but I don't think the school should be held solely responsible for that.
Let me ask you a question, Short. Now, Younggin was saying, you know, with y'all school, there was the whole ID. Right. Now, when you heard about it, or we pre-talked before we recorded, somebody brought up the demerits thing. Right. What do you think the school should do as far as steps so that a kid isn't denied access? Because I don't want to say so that a kid isn't shot again. Right. Because that's going a little far.
Right. I'm actually going to disagree with everybody. Really? I think the school should be held accountable. Okay. By it being a charter school. I mean, just for denying him entry into the school, period. Over a bow tie. Okay. Right. That's like being denied entry into school for not having your ID. But we had replacements for that. You know, we had temporary IDs.
So you saying they being petty as hell?
Petty as hell. Okay. when you a charter school versus a public school, when you go to a public school and you got so many alternatives in place for situations, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You come in without a gym uniform. Right. You don't got your ID. You don't got your lunch card. It's always some type of alternative. And that's a public school.
So you're saying because it's a charter school, it should have a higher standard?
It should have had higher standard, exactly.
I feel like it should if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. My son does go to a charter school because I think that's like privately. Those are privately investors.
And exactly, you're paying money.
I mean, no. The student isn't paying money. We're not paying money for No, we don't pay a tuition, anything like that. It's funded, but it's just they have fees. We have to pay fees or whatnot. But it's actually like they have one for the Chicago Bulls. They have a charter school, and you just have a lot of people and private investors in it. And they provide
like a sponsorship.
It's kind of like that because
so it's not like government.
Yeah, it's not government. Right. And the thing about, I think what they have to do, what they do, they provide like trips for the students to go off to college to visit college campuses. Right. But the parent doesn't have to pay for that. investors do that.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying they can't do, like you said, have extra accessories and stuff like that. And I think now that this has happened, they're gonna do it. And they're kind of like gonna be forced their hand to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, by it being a charter school, something like that should have already been.
I mean,
but that,
for a bow tie, though.
I think that's kind of the situation, and kind of piggyback off what that nigga is saying, is because these charter schools are privately funded. Not only is the school held to a higher standard, but the students are as well. Because it's hard to get your child into a private school or a charter school versus just sending them off to a public school. Does the
child? Do you think the child knows that?
I don't think. But of course, the child might know that. But even still, it's like certain.
I mean, as a parent, how important a charter. Or
I look at it like this. This was a bad, unfortunate incident, and it's the worst case scenario. Yeah. But let's say the kid did come, right? And let's say he was by himself, or him and his friend, and he didn't have his bow tie. Yeah. And he goes home, and his parents like, "Why you back at school? I mean, why you here?" He say, "Well, I forgot the bow tie." And his parent get on him and be like, "You know damn well what you got to do, blah, blah, blah." Now this dude knows, look, they take this serious. That's a lesson learned. You know what I mean? And he could be now like, okay, this is serious, because like you said, it's a kid, and the kid is gonna try it. Mm-hmm. And if you let him slide, and if you let him slide with it, who knows? Because actually, like, I want to say, I think if a kid, I know for my son's school, if he get a certain amount of demerits, it's a bill that comes to me, and I have to pay for that shit. Right. So it's not like just he getting in trouble. I got to pay for that shit. Right. So it makes me like, hey, man, get your shit together.
Exactly. As a parent, that's going to make you say that.
But my thing, the same thing I would have if that student came home and I'm like, why you not at school? And it's because you forgot a bow tie. Because I would look at it like you knew this. Because they sit you, when you go to this school, they're going to sit you down in a big ass auditorium and tell you everything that they tell you that they're serious. And they're going to say, they don't say, freshmen, so you all going to, you all going to mess up. Because the kids is what you're going to do. But we have to show you that we're serious about it. Right. So,
Now, one thing that kind of piqued my attention, and it wasn't talked about, do y'all think, and again, we just speculate, because they're being real tight-lipped with information, but do y'all think, or was it just me, that something was there that he knew he probably wouldn't get into school, and that's why he had his friend's mother with him? You know what I'm saying? Because they never really said why she was
I will
there.
tell you this. So the other kid didn't have a tie on either?
Right.
They didn't say. They really didn't mention anything about the other kid, if he was a student or not. But
I think he was a student.
Yeah,
I think they said he was a student.
It was almost like, okay, did he meet them up there and he just happened to be denied at the same time? Or did he bring his mother's friend? Or did he go with the friend and the mother because he knew he may not get into school because of the bow tie?
That's a good question too.
It's a lot they leaving now, so it's kind of hard for you really to, because we all choose sides.
Let's say that was the situation. Him going with his friend and his mother, he's thinking, well, hey, this is my way into school. Right. Not me being denied entry into school and me losing my life.
But rules is rules. Yeah. It don't say you can come in with a bow tie if you got a parent with you.
Are charter schools really that strict?
Yeah.
Or could he been using her to fight the battle for him?
They could have, because it's not a military school, and they're not that strict, but they can get to a point where you be like, are you serious? Like,
damn near, because I remember taking ROTC in high school. When you didn't have something, they charged you. Or it was times where they didn't even charge you. They had, you know what I'm saying? And when you're in programs like that, they had extra for you, regardless. So
I was just wondering,
at a charter school,
if his friend did go to the school and the mother was there, could she not give him a bow tie? That's why I'm saying it's a lot left up. My mind wonders. It's like your kid goes to this school. You know the dress code. Was your kid up to par to get into school for the dress code?
I mean,
could he not borrow one of his bow ties?
Because a lot of it really, how the charter school, like I think you said it, it's the perception. Mm-hmm. They want you to look, man. You're like that nappy cut shit. Yeah, they really don't like that, but they like, hey, we need you lined up.
Yeah, presentable.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we need you presentable. Because you're representing this school, and we want to represent you. You know what I mean? So it is to make you, shirts tucked in, dress shoes, whatever. So my son has dress shoes. There's no reason for him to be in gym shoes if he go up there. And if he tries it, he tried it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's something I'm gonna have to deal with. So,
that is something when you go to a charter school, going in.
Right, going in. Going in. Yeah. And
But I mean, look,
a belt.
How long this specific school? When did school start back?
See, that I don't know.
Yeah, was this his first day at this charter
school? That's the thing about the charter. A lot of them have different rules.
Like, was this?
They all charter schools, but a lot of them are lenient on some things. Some they.
Because I learned a lot from this story about charter schools.
Yeah,
they
a lot I didn't know. I didn't know, like you said, privately owned.
Yeah,
no government assistance. I didn't know that. They're not. Like, I'm not going to say affiliated with the city.
No,
but they get no money from the city.
The city strike. The teachers go on strike. Right, they ain't got shit to do with them.
Yeah, it doesn't affect those teachers.
They ain't got shit to do with them.
They do try to go out of their way to get great teachers.
Yeah.
They don't just do the whole you got a degree, come on. They're real strict about their teachers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a lot that I learned about charter schools because of this story.
They make you do community hours, all that. Yeah,
like their focus is college.
So they invested in you, and they just ask you to come to
par.
Park.
That comes through that is an investment,
and they ask you just come to Park. So I can see why you would turn them away. It's kind of strict.
But at the same that too, if every student is an investment, why would you turn away an investment?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking.
But that's basically what I'm.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you because I'm 100% with you. They should have had.
Something
in place. But that's one of those you kind of you're not thinking about it until shit like this happened. Then you like, damn.
These investors that's paying these top dollars for this, you know what I'm saying? They didn't think.
Don't get me wrong.
See, but then that comes into a business mind state too, because here you are spending X amount of dollars to have a surplus of ties in the event a student don't have their tie. Versus setting them up for a trip to Harvard, a trip to Yale. Making sure everybody in their graduating class can see how it is at Princeton or some shit like that. Would you rather them get the taste of collegiate life at what's held to be the highest level, or make sure everybody has ties?
I guess you look at it like some things the parents can handle.
Some things the parents have to handle.
Yeah, and it's a structured thing. And at the end of the day, in high school, you're becoming a young adult. And, like you said, they're kids, they're going to fumble here and there. But, after you fumble once or twice, it may, I don't know, it's sad if this was this brother's first fumble and then this shit happened. It's sad.
If it was his first
And that's what I'm really curious about with the tight lip.
Right.
Do they know something? Like... a lot of times when they don't come out, because how Chicago be, man. Yeah, something like this, the media be on it. They asking 101 questions. Yeah, they investigating, and you the eyewitness team.
I don't see too much of that going on.
I don't see much of that going on. So I'm starting to wonder: do y'all know something?
They got to.
Like I mean, are you trying to protect the school from a lawsuit? And if so, that to me would mean they have a credible lawsuit.
Like
what do you know?
Who's to say that he knew the rules? You know what I'm saying? And he went to school just hoping that he would get in to avoid this situation, but didn't want to say it to the school.
And that's not
or possible that he did say it to the school, and that's why they turned him away.
As a school, they don't even want you to even think like that. They don't want you to think that you can get through here. That's why they strict on you. They don't want you. They don't want you to think that.
Are they shutting down?
It's kind of like telling somebody, you know what I'm saying? You tell them, you got a job. You could be late every so often. Well, I'm going to try to see if don't try to be late. I understand shit, but don't try to be late.
Period.
Yeah, don't try to be late. You know what I mean? So,
but again, that's a job. We're talking education.
It's a young adult.
Exactly.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
It's
it's like
we talking education.
Young adult in a charter school where they're setting you up for college. Like,
I mean,
legitimately.
but I got to get there.
Exactly.
Right, but they
Like,
got to
you really
teach you on the
We're
way
giving
there.
you the tools
Right.
now. We're giving you the tools so you don't be late. So you are presentable when you go to these colleges or,
I mean, the
or
bow
go
tie,
for a
though.
job.
Because you got to look at it. You got to look at it like this.
First of all,
you got to look at it like
I mean,
this.
as far as charter schools and ties go, period. What's the difference between a tie and a bow tie? Did they specifically have to have bow ties? And
that
could it-
I don't
we
know.
don't know
Could it
that.
have been a tie? dude?
But I'm saying the
Right, 'cause his
structure.
shirt been buttoned up to his
But I'm
neck.
saying,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
saying,
You know,
but I'm,
something.
if that's the rule, yeah.
It was
But-
some type of way
But I'm just
around.
saying the structure, like Younggin was saying, the structure is they're preparing you for collegiate.
For the next
But
level.
the thing about it is, if he goes in and he says, I'm just gonna show up without this tie, and they let him in
This time.
this one time, he like, oh, okay, cool. Now in college, you don't do your homework. The professor don't say shit to you.
Right.
Professor say, okay, that's on
Professor ain't
you.
gonna say shit.
But
That's
the
on you.
structure,
Fail, you
but the
fail.
structure of doing your work versus the structure of your dress code to me is a lot different.
I mean,
And-
I'm
and-
just
and
saying, I'm
I
just saying,
agree,
right? It's
but-
just
but at
overall
the same
teaching you.
time, it like that nigga just said, it's overall it's teaching you some responsibility,
Yeah.
some accountability, some structure. It's preparing you for the shit that the real world ain't gonna give
Yeah,
you
but
that
again,
warning
dress
for.
code in real world again, like
But
it's
see,
like-
but
it's-
that's
Okay,
the
look,
thing.
It's not
let me
really
ask you
a
this.
dress
Let me ask you
code.
this.
It's
But the
you
real
taking
world
responsibility.
Ain't gonna give you that warning. Like for example, I used to work at Walmart. If I went there without my Walmart shirt, they not finna let me work. I can't clock in and get them hours.
Right.
They gonna tell my ass to go to fuck home, get my shit, and come back. And
No.
then I'm in trouble for whatever happened. Well, he say no because he used to be a manager there.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
he's
I
not
had
managing.
vests, and I was making IDs for all that. I wasn't
See?
turning
Yeah.
nobody around.
See, but that's
Because you need that worker.
Exactly.
But that's
just like
you.
this
But
school
that's
needed
real
that
world.
investment.
No, that's real world.
That's just one person.
But if
still,
this
we
is
talking
we're
real
talking
world.
about a charter school
Exactly.
that's preparing
Okay,
you
okay,
for the
but-
real
but
world,
that's what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah, not the real world itself.
Everybody else not gonna be that generous. If
Yeah,
you don't, if
that's
you're
true.
not taking care
That's
of your
true.
shit,
That's
we
true.
don't fucking need you.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can get replaced by
And,
the
and,
next person.
and what do we
very
say?
true.
And what do we
I've
say
fired a
about
lot
the
of
kids? And what do we
motherfuckers.
say about the kids nowadays? They don't know the consequences of
Exactly.
shit.
They don't know the
I mean,
consequences.
yeah,
of
but
their
the
actions.
consequences could have been like y'all said before, demerit. Or
That's not on you, that's on the
Okay,
parent.
look, let me ask you
I mean,
this.
true, but the school should have had that to me set up.
True, and I agree.
Let me ask you this, that nigga. As a parent who has a son, he goes to a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just as a parent, period, with a child
Yeah.
who goes to a charter school, would you say that every parent is investing something just
What do you mean?
off of
You definitely are.
just period off your son being in that charter school? Are you investing?
Am I investing?
Yeah, because you were saying like
That I would say that's an
No,
investment.
It probably is. I'm just trying to make sure before I answer, I know exactly
Okay,
where
let me
you're
ask you
coming
this.
from with it.
Take your time.
are you expecting?
Right, I heard that shit in a bit.
Okay.
I know.
Would you expect your son to be turned around from school for not having a bow tie?
In a charter school with that,
in a charter school,
Yep.
you would.
Yeah.
If those
At
are
a
rules in
charter
place,
school?
Yeah.
I would
Even if
agree with
even if
I understand
even
the
if
rules.
even if
I
it's a
understand
rule,
the
even if it's a
rules.
public school, if they got a rule, it's a rule. It's kind of like it. Think about this.
Not
If
having,
the- wait,
having your cell phone in class.
think
Right.
about think about this. Have you ever had, even in public school, have you ever had a chance where you ever heard that teacher say, if you not in here before the bell ring, I'm closing this
yes.
door and you ain't getting in?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Dude.
got that one kid that's hanging out
That's
right
how
outside
do
the
you
door.
tell, either though that bell rung and that teacher closed the door, you like, I'm 2 seconds late. Should the teacher actually let him in?
Yeah. I
that
agree
kind
with
of just
that.
gave me a different perception.
I mean, but that's what it is.
Because I agree with that.
See, my thing
Because
is
you
once
gonna test the waters and hang
right,
outside.
once
that
you know
door.
once you know the rules, you're responsible for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and by all means,
Yeah,
you know,
I got you.
I am not. I hate what happened to my man.
You hate it.
You know what I'm saying? I hate
the
what happened
past.
to my man. You know, but
I mean,
rules are rules.
don't get
man.
me wrong. I'm not saying that the school should be at fault because who's to say if he did get, you know what I'm saying, if he was in school that day and he left and got shot afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That ain't what you said.
it's
earlier,
just
nigga.
something should have already
Right.
been in
Something
perspective.
should have been in-
is what
in-
I'm saying.
in perspective,
You
in
know what I'm
place,
saying?
yeah.
It's not a situation like this should have happened for it to, you know.
You know something? I was thinking that, but when you said would you take that money and rather? And I'm not saying it takes a lot of money to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
into
yeah.
accessories, but If you rather take that money and say, would you rather
I
it
would
go
rather them
toward
have these
the visits
paths.
of the collision and this, that, and the third?
Yeah.
I'd rather go there than worried about the bow tie, and because if you're gonna do bow ties, you're gonna have to do uniform pants. You're gonna have to do shoes. You're gonna have to do everything.
Right. You have to do everything.
You're gonna have to do everything.
And
that shit, it could be a fortune.
Privately owned, not receiving that government assistance. That shit is pricey.
It is, but I feel like.
That was
a judgment call. That was a judgment call. The person that made that decision, like you said, I was a manager at Walmart, so I had a decision to make. There were plenty of they will have a list of people to fire 3 months ahead of time before it's time to fire them. But
that's some rough shit.
It's a judgment call. You know what I'm saying? Like. Whoever made that call to say, because you don't have a bow tie, I'm going to send you home. There was no alternative around
that. Now, if they did that, now, like I said earlier, if they did that and the kid goes home and nothing happens, did they do the right thing?
No.
You still don't think they did the right thing?
No.
I think so.
I think they did the right thing.
You still denying that kid that day of
education.
But that's
over
the thing.
a tie.
There has to be, when these rules are set in place, these kids have to understand that there's consequences to these actions.
But
like
the consequences shouldn't be no school.
Severe.
And
that's a severe consequence to me.
And that is a severe consequence.
When we was in school, if we came to school without our ID, were we getting sent home?
I don't think it's severe though.
I think
a
so.
day
I don't think it's severe. I don't think it's severe.
See, I do.
Because
from what I've learned about structure, the structure in these schools, you miss one day, you got to catch up.
And that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but if you're missing a day of school, that gives you an opportunity to run into a situation like this.
But here's my thing. They're not saying that he couldn't have came back to school. Like, let's take away the fact he got shot. Hypothetically speaking, let's say they sent him home. He went home, got his bow tie, and came back. He could have continued on with the day like.
Would that be
who's
justified?
to say that he wasn't trying to do that then?
And then
but
he can make it back in time to even come back to that school. It's a charter school.
Right.
We're not saying he live around the corner.
Well, he could have made it back.
Okay, they say he came with.
I don't know how far he lived, but he could have made it back.
But we don't know.
If he go to school every day, he could go home and come back and at least make it, because it was early in the morning. Where his first class.
Yeah.
So he would have missed 1-2 classes, but. They wouldn't. I don't. Now I would have an issue if he came back and they said, "No, it's too late." Yeah, I'll be like, "Wait, hold up," you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what if they? Okay, and I'm gonna be Stezo petty. That's me. What if they go to the whole? Hey, we need you here on time. We're building structure. We need that bow tie. Now, on time for the real world.
Now, if you talking about that and the student forgot it, went home and came back, and then you did that. Now I got an issue with that. Now I got an issue with the
real
school.
world. You work a job and you late. You know what I'm saying? A lot of jobs let you go
penalized.
Back home and
But if you
get your ID and come back to
work.
But
the thing,
but no, for the most part, you're getting penalized. Like when we was in school. Come on now, how many times? It's been some type of situation where you would just get penalized if you was late. Like 3 tardies equal this, or this many absences equal this.
Let me ask you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me ask you this: when you was in high school and you didn't have your ID, and they added something to your account, did it really affect you right then and there?
No, but it was more to it. It was like after 3 temporary IDs or something,
yeah,
it was more to it. It was,
and you know what?
Right.
And you know what's sad about that? Like you said, kids would look at it like, I got 2 more.
Exactly.
I got 2 more.
That's true.
Exactly.
I did it.
Kids.
Like
that's what we dealing with.
And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people that's at the age where they're going to see how far can I bend.
Yeah.
But if you know this, you have to have some flex in that. If you know kids are going to come out and try to bend them,
right.
I think they will.
You can't blame the kids.
And that's true, but
because as a person making a judgment call, knowing this is what kids are gonna do, why not say you're gonna be here in school?
Right.
Go learn. I'm not gonna send you home. Right. You gonna go your ass in there and learn.
But once again,
I don't know.
When motherfuckers was coming to work and they like fire this person, I'm like, this the strongest person I got on this front line. Hell no, I'm not firing them.
But if it was the weakest person, would you fire them?
Hell yeah. But if this, that's
A fire is a fire.
I mean, we don't know if this
we
is a
talking about
person
working
that
though. We're not
Right.
talking about education.
we don't know if this is a person that
Even still, we was
continuously
talking
came to
about how
school without his
education
bow
was an
tie.
investment. That
Yeah.
like all of that goes back to the fact that this is a charter school. It's privately invested. You
And
like
that's why it should be
the-
more.
See, but that's not why. Because
As hard as it is for these students to get into these private schools, you don't think that there would be more penalties and rules in place for situations like this already, way before they even made it to public schools?
See, I don't know. I just look at it differently because
I don't know, man.
the way I see it, public schools versus charter schools, the loops that the parents have to go through just to get the students into charter schools are different. You can easily get your student
In a public
plugged
school.
into a public school.
It's
So
hard.
the funding there is going to be a lot different than the funding at a private school.
Right.
Once again, it goes back to it being privately funded. Do you want your school to have enough ties where if one or two students just so happen to not bring their ties, or enough for all of the students that are in this graduating class to go to 1, 2, 3, 4 colleges of their choosing? That she has
Okay, but let's be real. Bow ties and ties not gonna hit that.
No,
big.
It can because now you buying ties.
Ties for the seniors, the sophomores, the juniors, the freshmen, for the entire
Okay,
body.
it's not
No,
like
you
you
also
had Gordon
no.
Gartrell's.
You also doing pants. Cause you got people who are tall, you got people who are short. You have shirts you have to do.
No, we're not.
You may
We're
have to
talking about
shoot.
the accessories, not the entire.
But that's
suit
the
itself.
thing. If somebody
But
say I don't
but
come
that's
in with the
the
pants or I don't have the shirt,
Yeah,
then
but
what you do?
No. I figure pants and shirts, then yeah, you know. But I'm saying like the
You know both. You know a
But I'm saying
tie.
all of that fits into it.
Yeah.
If you buying ties, you're only targeting one issue.
No, but
Now,
that's
who
all we
was just
talking about.
saying
We
that
talk about the
the
little
student don't-
things.
But okay.
Pants, I don't think are little. I'm sorry, I don't think pants are
So
little.
so if they sent them back because he ain't had the pants, you understand?
Yeah.
That would be more understandable to
Okay.
me than a tie.
Yeah, to
I
me.
agree with him on that.
To me,
Well,
yeah.
well,
I
I'm thinking
agree.
it's the same.
I agree.
I'm thinking
I'm thinking it's the
too.
same.
Nah, I don't.
Okay, so if they sent the student home without dress socks,
That's another.
How do
one.
you know though?
Right,
You don't know what kind of socks.
No.
socks.
No. Yeah, they do.
Well, my son would never go to a private school.
No. It's
I'm not
just-
paying all that money for you to
You know,
take
but
this
that's what I'm just. But that's what I'm telling you. But
Right,
think what I'm saying. I'm
real
not
world
paying
don't
for
do
that.
The real world don't. So it's not.
But
the
if
same
your
for the real
job
world.
some jobs do require that.
Yeah.
That you wear
Okay,
certain
let me ask you this.
things.
Now,
I know,
these
but are
charges-
they
like-
lifting your leg up so you got on dress on?
If that's the rule, yeah.
I don't
That's
know
what
no
I'm
job.
saying.
do
I don't
that.
But
know.
again-
Right?
I don't think
Who's
they gonna lift
doing
your
that?
leg
No.
to check for
Yeah,
your
No.
dress
Some do.
And
And
I
if
believe
you
it,
do
and I
that-
believe
They
it.
do.
Some do, but my thing is that it goes back to these charter schools teaching these kids structure, responsibility, and accountability. Having your dress plays a part. You have jobs where you have to wear a uniform.
Because I look at it like this. I look at it when they gave us that. It was my response. It was me and his mom's responsibility to make sure he had socks, shoes, the uniform, or whatever. After that, what they said is, we're going to give your child a great education or the best that we can give you, but we're asking you to provide this for your child. My child job responsibility was to put on everything I bought.
Yeah.
If he don't put that on, that's him.
Now
I agree.
I'm actually gonna kinda agree with y'all just because I thought of this situation from a different point of view.
And
Now, the
what point of
person-
view is that?
The person that made this judgment call, it is possible that maybe they sent him home to teach him. You know, if you don't have this, you can't. I don't know. No, I take that back. I don't know. A tie.
And I'm not even sure. I don't even sure if it's a judgment call. It's them following the rules.
Exactly.
I don't think it's the
them
judgment
following
call.
the rules.
But even following the rules, when you in positions like that where you can, I don't know, because I'm
So
gonna
if-
keep going to
so
work.
if y'all-
but then
If
that-
y'all found out that other kids were allowed to come into school without,
Then I have an issue with that. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, because
Yeah.
I really would too.
I would have an issue with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. I get what y'all saying, but I
Right.
think pants, jacket, and shirt is different. You know what I'm saying? I get
Then tie,
then the
dress
bow tie,
socks,
and it's not just the
lapel
size of it,
badge.
because it's really a bow tie to me is an accessory.
and
And how noticeable
You know,
is it? How
It's not
often
even
can
about
you
that.
notice
It's not
a person
about
missing
that,
a
though.
bow
It's
tie?
not about
it's
that.
not about
No, you will
noticing.
miss it though if the school is
Yeah,
uniform.
if everybody in
Right.
You're
It's
gonna
not about
stand
that.
out not
It's
having
not
a bow
about
tie.
that. It's not about
So
that.
you mean to tell me when these students go in the lunchroom and they sitting there eating lunch, they not taking off their bow tie and then...
If it's the rule, no.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
They're
I'm
not taking
being
that
real.
shit off. They ain't that comfortable.
Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah.
Cause,
I'm not even gonna lie.
Cause ain't nothing worse than you getting the motherfucking letter in the mail saying your son or whatever, you got a demerit and you got to pay X amount of dollars because this motherfucker couldn't keep a bow tie on because he decided to take it off at lunch. Really? I'm gonna put a foot in your nigga. You can't keep this on.
Yeah, but I just don't see.
I guess I'm just thinking of it from a first incident point of view. Like what if
I
this
am
was
too.
first?
Right.
That's how I'm thinking of
Because
it.
the
I
school
just
year
can't
just
get around.
started, man.
Right.
And you telling him he can't come in because of the bow
freshly
tie?
into the school year.
And
Damn.
that,
Wait.
Like, come on,
We can
man.
say the school year just started. They ain't read it. How we know my man won the junior? How we know my man won the sophomore? He know these rules.
And we don't know
Hey,
none
probably,
of this.
hey, how we know he ain't grow 6 feet? How we know he
This-
ain't, you know?
I'm just saying though.
Fucking
I'm
neck
just
got
saying.
thick over the stomach.
They been in school for at least what 2 months.
yeah, at least.
Who's
He
to
know
say?
if they need a boat.
I'm just saying.
That's when
That
charter schools started
nigga-
about
how
2
you
months
know
ago.
He could have had the mumps.
if all the money
Come
that was
on,
already
man.
paid.
Come on, man.
He could have had the mumps. Them well,
Well, they throw that in. Hey,
how we know his daddy ain't go Muslim
Well, you know,
stars?
Maybe the parents spent all their money on the fucking
That's
uniform. They
all
couldn't
I
afford
put
the bow tie.
Hell yeah.
Well, he
That's
wouldn't have
true.
been to school the last few
You know what I'm
months.
saying?
Well, he wasn't there long enough because he
Come
wouldn't have
on,
been getting
man.
denied.
Come on, we can't make excuses because the man just
Yeah.
what it seems
I
like.
just
What it
don't see
seems
me
like.
going anywhere and being denied for not having on a bow tie.
Right, a bow
period.
tie.
I understand it's a charter school,
I understand that.
but that's what schools are for.
I
Period.
know. It just, for me, it really comes down to the fact that these schools are trying to hold their students to a certain standard.
And I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Is it an actual standard though?
Yeah.
I think it is. When
No bow tie?
It's structure. You looking at the bow tie. It's structure. It's following rules. It's following rules.
Because it's still a judgment call. At the end of the day, it's still a judgment call.
Right.
You know.
Right. And that's understandable. But when you look at them having these rules in place, you know, shirt tucked in, shirt ironed, clean shoes. You gotta have a bow tie versus the kid that's going to a public school where you can't stink and you better have your ID on at all times. It's the standard that they're being held to is different. You know, so if you fuck off one thing, you're gonna be like, okay, well then shit. They let me in without the bow tie.
Well,
Like I'm gonna tell you how tripped out it is.
What
They
if
don't
you don't
even
fuck off
they don't
the
even
hour?
refer to them as students. They call them scholars.
That too.
They don't even call them
call them
students there. They call them scholars.
Well, shit,
And
I
you
call-
don't-
I
But I'm saying,
this
but
chick with a big booty.
but no. What I'm saying,
Classy stuff.
what I'm saying
Like
is
what?
they're telling you. What I'm saying is they're telling you.
They
You
try to
know,
put it in your head.
they
I
trying to
get
say,
it, but
hey
I'm
man,
still-
you can.
Yeah.
Right, but you
Okay.
doing all that, but then you say, get
But
your
I-
ass out of
We
here. You ain't got no
listen.
fucking
Let me
bow
let me
tie.
let me let me try to
Scholar,
break it
take
down
your
like
ass home
this.
'cause you ain't got a
I mean,
bow
look.
tie.
Exactly.
To me,
Like,
like I
damn.
said, like what me and Younggin said, we looking at it as a structure,
Yeah.
and they teach you because it's kind of you saying, man, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you tell your kid to sweep and they sweep. But they leave the broom and the dustpan in the living room. You like, why you put it in the kitchen? They
Right.
like, but it's swept though.
But
What you worried about?
Exactly.
But if I don't allow her to eat, y'all gonna be like, damn, ain't that a little strict? Cause she didn't sweep that good. They didn't allow his education because of a bow tie.
But do you say?
But your
Exactly.
rule in place was after you're done sweeping, put that shit back.
Okay,
If they don't put that shit back, they're still violating your
I'm asking
rule.
you. That's your rule, and your daughter. You say, okay, you didn't do that. You don't get dinner. Are you really letting her go to bed hungry? You get what I'm saying?
I wouldn't
Judgment
do that
call.
to
No.
Judgment wise?
That's
my
comparing.
daughter.
That's comparing. That's
No,
I would
no.
compare that
Them
to.
doing it in.
No.
Whatever.
No, that's comparing. Not them eating is me comparing them saying you suspended. You can't come back to this school. That's taken to the extreme saying
But they
that.
denied
Not saying
him
you can't come in.
coming in the school.
No,
period.
but I would say you can't go outside until that's back. Until that's back in the.
Yeah, you would find an alternative, but you wouldn't just.
That's the
turn it all
alternative.
away.
Go home and get your bow tie.
You know,
That's
we
rough.
not
though.
go
It's
home.
not.
That's rough.
I mean,
But that's the thing.
A charter
because,
school.
Get out of here,
because we
scholar.
don't have. Come on, now you saying get the
Right,
fuck out.
go,
Don't try to
right,
make it like
go
that.
home, scholar. Go get your fucking bow tie.
Right.
Go home, Roger.
So my thing again, if you say, okay, we have this in place, I think you're gonna have to have it in place.
Just off of that, go home, Roger. Roger knew, right? That no matter how hard he tried, he wasn't getting Tia Tamara, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they did send his ass home. Like,
Right. See.
Yeah, but he came back.
he kept coming back. Exactly. You know
And
what I'm
that-
saying? Like,
and
who?
that goes back to this. There's no telling that it was like, oh, you can't come back.
we
to
don't
school.
know
You don't have
enough
your
though
shit,
to.
go home. Come back with
But
your
we
shit.
do know he was not allowed in school
Let's
because of
because
the bow
of
tie.
Let's just call it what it is. He tried to pull it, and they.
A bow tie though. A
Hey,
bow
he tried
tie.
to pull it.
It's
And
it's in the handbook.
But how he
The
know
handbook, nigga.
Nigga,
See,
it's
you
in the
can't say
handbook.
fuck a handbook if that's
Now,
the
you saying
rule.
fuck the handbook.
You send your kindergarten students first day of school. They got a long ass list of supplies to come
Hell
with.
yeah.
You don't come with everything on the list. You gotta go home. Are your kindergarten students getting sent home because they didn't come with every supply on this list?
And hey,
No.
Who fault is that?
No, but
They show
no.
instruction.
The
Whose
point
fault
I'm
is that?
saying is they're not
Whose
getting
fault is
sent
that?
home.
Whose fault is
But
that,
whose
though?
fault is that? The
It's not whose
kindergartners
fault.
or the parents?
It's
But-
not
but-
whose
but
fault.
they're
They're
showing
not
structure.
getting sent home
They're
for
showing
not having
structure
all
for
of
the
their.
parents.
It's different. In
They're
that
showing
scenario.
structure for the parents.
Yeah, that's totally
For
different.
These kids are not getting sent home.
We're talking about teenagers.
Regardless,
that
they're
are at
not
the
kids.
age-
Period. They're not getting
Exactly.
sent home.
Like you just said it. They're not kids. We're talking about people that are at the age that they're starting to be held accountable for their actions, their decisions. That is a conscious effort.
Okay, he
When you
decided not to
know-
wear a bow tie.
And he suffered the consequences.
And he suffered the
What I'm saying, the
consequences.
consequences shouldn't be sent home. That's
But
strict.
So what
But
should-
that's the thing. If
Period.
that's the consequence that they set
When
in place
have there
for
been a
violating the
consequence
rule,
at any school?
But it doesn't matter if that's
Period.
the rule. You should have known.
When,
That's
that's,
the
what I'm
rule.
asking.
Why
When
not?
has that been a rule
Why-
at
why
any
not?
school?
Yeah, that's
if you
rough.
don't come here,
But why not look at the kid and say, well, if you knew it was this severe, why would you even take that
listen to
chance?
my question.
True.
When
Okay, I
has
give you
there-
that.
Because also they explained the consequences to breaking these rules in these handbooks. This is warranted a suspension. This is warranted an expulsion. This is warranted a
And
day
on
out
top
of
of
school.
that,
The schools
and-
should be held
No,
accountable.
and on top of that, you as a parent sign a contract to go through all, and the student does.
These
Yeah, but that's what they get you on that contract.
But it's just like, look,
I mean, for
these
real.
the
Yeah,
rules
you
you
right.
follow.
You right.
Yeah.
They get you on that.
Once you signed it, you like, yeah, you got to deal
I'm
with the
gonna
good. You got to
uphold
deal
Let
with
me
the
ask you
rules.
this.
And should I break them?
Yep.
I'm held responsible.
Yeah. And see, that's what they
It's
get you on
just
that
so many
contract.
ways
And
I could
that's
tweak
where it
this.
gets
I mean, don't get me wrong. They do have a lot of things.
Yeah,
They do
it's-
they do have a lot of rules that you be like, man, y'all are extra.
Y'all
strict.
doing the most.
But
Over
at
a
the
bow
end of the
tie,
day,
like y'all sent this
but at
man
the end of
home.
the day, they tell you this ahead of time. We be like,
Yeah.
damn, that's strict. And we like, well, my son or my daughter not gonna do it. And then when they do it, man, what the hell?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but that's like
And you an
okay.
adult
Say
asking
for
these
example,
questions. So what you think a kid is asking?
But my point is, if I knew this ahead of time, I probably was banking that my son or my daughter wasn't gonna
Wasn't
do that
gonna
dumb
do
shit.
okay, look at this in
And
high
they
school.
did it. It's
Okay.
like,
With
shit.
with the whole gym suit situation, we didn't have our gym suits. We had the opportunity to rent. If we ain't had the money to rent, we sat on the sideline. We wasn't sent away from gym class. You know what I'm saying?
Why he ain't let you participate?
So why the
he still could
fuck-
have let you participate.
See, but that's
No.
the thing.
He still
the
could.
only reason you want to
we
participate.
when we were in high school, and we came to school without a gym uniform for gym. We had two options. We either had to cough up the couple dollars to get a gym uniform, or we had to fork over our IDs for the,
Right.
for the remainder of gym.
Yeah.
And if you didn't even have your ID,
Now.
you sit out then.
Exactly.
You were never sent home.
But that's the thing. You did not partake in that form of education. Regardless. You know,
You did because that
Call-
was
call it-
always
call it gym class or whatever you want to.
that was a
By
priority
you-
in school. Period.
But that's the thing. By you not following the rules, by you not coming
Sit on
to
the side.
your gym class, you sat your ass out.
on the
you didn't
side,
play
you were
badminton
not
that
sent
day.
out.
So
You
what
were
they
not
should
sent
have?
home.
So what they should have set him in the dean's office for the
Something
other day?
detention.
Yeah.
For the,
You
for
know
the
what I'm
entire
saying?
day.
After school,
the entire
we had
day?
detention. After school detention, all
Wait,
kind
hold
of
up.
shit.
But like he said, when you ain't had your gym uniform, they set you on the side.
You set out. You were not sent out of the gym room completely.
Wait, hold up. So again, you saying you'll be cool with
sitting on the side.
No. You didn't come to school with your bow tie and you sat in the dean's office for the entire day.
I would rather sit in the fucking dean's office where all my work is still going to be provided to me versus being sent home.
Whoa. Who's bringing your work to you?
No, they do.
They do.
When you
in detention and shit like that, you get all your work to you.
But it's not
detention.
Hell yeah.
But no.
They had me going to every class getting my work before I went to detention.
The charter school.
I stayed in detention. Trust me, I know.
The charter school.
I graduated, right?
And your going to detention ass went to all of your
what I'm
classes
saying,
to get your work.
They made that was the deans or they order you to make sure you can't sit in detention and do nothing all day.
In charter schools, your detention is after school or Saturday.
We talking in-house.
Okay, so why not say
it's after school and it's Saturday. So there is nobody sitting there.
So they don't have in-house.
Bullshit. Well, I bet you they're going to change it now.
It's after school and then it's a Saturday.
They're going to change
then they make you go Saturday. You know what I mean?
Private investors finna acquire another investor.
I think that's the real problem. It's a private investment, so you don't really have that.
And
they just gonna have to let the parents on the team.
And once again, I think that's something that we're neglecting. We're neglecting the fact that when dealing with a charter school, it's a private investor.
Yeah.
You know, like the government sets certain things. Like public schools, there aren't opportunities set in place for your student in their junior year, their senior year, to really go out and see what the world is going to be like beyond high school.
Okay,
I think the only difference that I've seen between a public school and a charter school is basically like, it's going to be tripped out, but in Chicago's in public schools, they don't really take an interest in that child. The child has to take an interest, and then like your guidance counselor, like your guidance counselor
ain't gonna reach out.
He ain't gonna reach out to you.
You got to reach out to them.
Right. In a charter school, they're gonna come to you.
I had it different.
Okay,
And
you know what I mean?
I know. You know what? I'll give y'all both sides. Public high school, my freshie sophomore, my guidance counselor was a bitch. And Dr. O'Brien, I doubt you listening, but if you are, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stand it. She always had a cold with a cold sore. You know what I'm saying? I knew what the fuck you was doing. But anyway, she didn't reach out. But my junior, senior, I had Miss McFarland. Man, to this day, I want to locate her and thank her. You know what I'm saying? Now, I agree. They don't reach out because they don't have to. But she did, and she was in public school. So I get where y'all coming from.
Short,
what you got, Short?
What you got?
Let me ask you this from the investor's point.
Okay.
From an investor's point,
you see, I'm not
who already knows all these stipulations and all the type of lawsuits and things that could come your way from situations like this. You mean to tell me you didn't think ahead of time to have something in place? Already.
That's why
no.
From an investor's point, you mean to tell me you didn't think about this shit?
No, I didn't.
Think your student is gonna get shot for not having
exactly.
a bow tie.
Not getting shot. I'm not saying that you think about him getting shot.
But that's the main thing.
But as an investor, you look at other schools, what they go through.
Exactly. This is not the first time this has happened.
But that's why it's such a daunting task for a parent to get their child enrolled into a charter school. It's not as simple as just going up there. We got these fees, sign this paper.
Yeah,
your
but we
fee
talking
is
about investment, like an investor point.
No. We're talking about the people that's keeping this school open.
As the investor, we're putting this money into you. We're basically a mini fucking college at this point. Right. We're giving you X amount of thousands of dollars for your individual education to be funded.
But for now we're doing not just education.
Exactly, and for everything. So as an investor, we're expecting expecting you
For
to come to
everything.
class
Did you
with
hear
your
that?
shoes, with
I'm
your
not-
tie,
Did you hit-
with
as
your
an investor,
dress
as an
style.
investor, I'm more.
I'm expecting you to uphold the rules that I set in place because I'm giving you opportunity.
As an
true,
as an
but-
investor, I'm more concerned about getting you to the college level.
Exactly.
I'm not,
As an
I'm not-
investor,
I'm not-
you're concerned about getting your
I'm saying-
money
he
back
said,
that
what
you
doing?
invested into
But no,
this program.
I'm saying, as an investor, I'm not. You said as an investor, I'm not sitting there thinking, okay, I need to have
The
something in
what
place
ifs?
in case
You're not
this
thinking
kid,
about the what ifs, though?
if the kid
We're thinking
if
about
he
the
goes
what
out and he
ifs.
gets shot,
No, if he's not prepared for the day.
I'm gonna send him
Exactly,
home,
and that's part of
and
the
he can
what-
come back.
and that's part of the what ifs. Your ass supposed to have that.
No, I'm saying as far as an investor, you're not thinking about the what ifs if he's not prepared for whatever reason, whatever crazy
And that's on
his way to school.
you.
I'm just saying on his way to school.
I mean,
you go with the crazy.
I could
acceptance, but
I
I
could have
But
something in
exactly.
place.
But
Yeah.
you have to have that same countermeasure in place for every single student.
But y'all keep acting like they can't do it.
And
I'm not-
it may
I'm not
take
saying
away
that they can't
from
do it,
something-
but it may take away something. From
Y'all keep
something
saying it
greater.
may, and until they say it does, we don't know that it will.
See, but that's the thing. As an investor, you look at those calls.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Should I spend the amount of money to cover the potential possibility of every one of my students not having a tie,
In
not having
order.
shoes, not having
in
socks,
order,
not having
Now ask
pants,
yourself, as
not
an
having
investor,
shirts?
should I spend this in order to avoid A, B, and C as an investor?
But no,
yes, you're going to spend
But
it.
come on now, if you
Versus sending them to a prestigious college,
But see,
versus
y'all keep
them meeting these people
stop
that's
going to
gonna-
the future. You got freshies; they're not going to colleges yet. We just talking about
Exactly.
period. We not looking at. I get what you saying. Over the rainbow is brighter if you obey and do what we say we do. But what I'm saying is, in investing, you know what I'm saying? You looking at every aspect. Because as an investor, if you get these, I'm not gonna call this, and I don't mean no disrespect when this is Stezo saying. I don't mean no disrespect when I say this. You don't want to deal with frivolous lawsuits on your investment. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what's finna happen. They finna get hit with so many lawsuits over this. As an investor, you come in preparing yourself.
see, I don't even see
but
how
once
you
again,
sue the
I
school.
feel as
Oh,
if-
they're gonna sue.
How?
Because
They're gonna
you know
sue the
what?
school.
You know what?
But how?
This
They're
is
gonna
America.
sue the
America
school.
is the home of lawsuits.
Right. So I mean,
They're
know.
gonna sue the school.
Yeah.
I mean-
and that's gonna bring
See, but
bad
that's my
publicity.
thing, but that's my
But I don't
thing,
see
though.
how-
I see that taking away from so many like you put your child into a charter school so they can have possibilities and opportunities that they're not gonna get at public school.
My whole body agree with all what
I
you said.
know.
But what I'm saying is, again, as an investor, I'm not saying investors don't care, but I don't think they give a fuck if your kid really goes to college versus their money return.
But at the same time, you're not going to sit up there and I'm investing this money and you're going to tell me, look, you know what I want? We need to make sure that students, even though we put this in play, we want to make sure we have extra shoes, extra bow ties, extra shirts or whatever, blah, 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 just in case. No, I'm just saying, listen. Just in case, I don't think you're going to tell investors, we need you to do this. Just in case a kid doesn't come, we don't have to send him home.
Yeah, because we want him to get education to get to school.
You know what
do
I
they
mean?
have vouchers in place?
What do you mean as far as
Like,
vouchers?
do they help them to get these uniforms?
No, you can get the uniform. Yeah, you actually can.
Is there an
Actually, you
income
can,
requirement?
And they will bill you. And
Is there an income requirement to go to a charter school?
no, it's an income requirement to get help. So basically, if you don't make much, they would assist you. But if you make a certain amount, you can get it on your own.
Now, if they have that in place, I would think they would have some stuff set up. Like, you kind of open up the door. If you have that in place to say, okay, we'll help those who can't afford.
But think about it, though.
Ain't no thinking
If
about
I done helped you because you couldn't afford it, and then you can't come to school with it on.
But you already know I need
Come
help.
on, man.
No,
I
get
helped
what
you.
saying.
I helped you. I gave you the money, but you can't put it on and come to school with
Exactly.
I mean, it's true, but I'm just saying.
And I agree with that.
Did you really give me the money though? How do you?
it. No, regardless, he was just saying if you got whatever assistance you got because you couldn't make
'cause
X amount of dollars.
You know, that's
I
what I'm saying.
I gave you the shoes, and you still can't come to school with the shoes on.
That's why.
And you mad because I sent you home?
all he's missing is this bow tie out of the whole uniform.
I'm not looking at it like that.
That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it.
I can't get past that.
So if it was shoes, or you just saying don't send them home? Period.
No,
even if it was shoes.
So you saying don't send them home?
I would
period?
take shoes over a bow tie.
So you
a bow tie.
See, here's my.
If it was shoes, you would be sitting over here.
I would take shoes
over shoes.
Here's my thing.
I mean,
we would. If it
over
was over
shoes,
shoes, we'd be like, if it was shoes.
So we're looking at the bow tie as something so minuscule that it's an accessory.
we get the bigger point.
It's still part of the uniform. The bow tie weighs as much as the shirt do. The shirt weighs as much as the socks do. The socks weigh as much as the pants.
And what I'm saying,
when we was in high school in gym, if you came with your shirt and you didn't have your shorts, you were still able to participate with jeans on, right?
Yeah,
because
I wasn't.
See, they ain't like you, young.
Shit.
They ain't like you.
Is that the judgment call?
That's that judgment
That's
call.
a judgment call. See,
That's a judgment call.
because I seen it a lot.
So it's like for me, the school should be held accountable. They're gonna get their ass sued.
Whatever his rule
Fuck
was,
them investors.
I mean, true. It is a rule. It is a rule.
You can't bend rules because then you bend rules for one person. The next person want to be in rules. Next thing you know, you don't have rules.
Yeah, but I just think they was a little too strict with this one. I don't see how you're teaching a kid about the greater benefits of education by denying them an education.
No, you're teaching them responsibility.
I get that.
And consequences.
I get that. But
for
the consequence
education?
should not be no education today because you
Right.
didn't have
No.
This on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not following rules.
It's to go back
at
home
a
and
job.
get it. Go back home and get
The
it.
But you
consequences.
can't relate a
Okay,
job to
look.
school.
Let me.
Preparing you for a job.
But what's hard about
Exactly.
saying
I'm gonna go religious on you.
Wait,
No,
but
no.
Stezo,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
said, wait, hold on. Like you just said, it's preparing you for a job. So if the consequences at a job for you not wearing your uniform is you missing out on a day's pay, you're gonna miss out on a day's worth of education.
But my education prepares me for that job or not working a job or working for myself.
No,
See what I'm saying?
Your education
can't
is
say
equivalent to money at that point.
I mean, true, to them it is.
Right.
Not
So
to,
you missed
not
out.
to the student.
Okay, let me ask you this.
No.
Because
Towards
like
the
you
student.
said,
That's what I'm
your
saying.
education is prepping you for that job.
Right, you're preparing me. Like you're preparing somebody to do something in the future. You can follow all these rules to the T and still go out there and rebel against your job.
Exactly.
And you don't turn around and say it's your fault because you didn't instill it in
But
me
in that,
as hard as you should have.
but in that sense, if you do that, did I still do my job though?
Who's to say you didn't?
No. I mean, if I prepped you for it and you go out there,
if I'm still not ready and I'm still a hard head, I would say no, you didn't do your job good with me.
if I taught you structure and you follow structure in the school for 4 years and then you went out there and do it, I did something wrong.
You thought your structure was good, but apparently,
But if you did it,
like, yeah,
apparently the structure worked. If you continued to do it,
but structure versus I have to do it, I don't think it's really structure.
But that's the premise of this.
Yeah,
This is
it is
something that
structure.
you have to do.
If you
When
leave
you go to
and
church,
you still
do you have to wear a suit?
no.
that's a little different though.
Yeah, I don't see where you're
Yeah, I
going.
think that's-
But let's see where you going.
But if you don't have no money, yeah, turn your ass around at church.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
Well,
Let
I
your
don't
ass
fuck with
not
them.
pay no
I don't
tithes.
fuck with them
I
type
don't
of
know,
churches.
I don't
No,
really touch
please,
that.
they will send your ass a bill. You ain't up on your tithes.
Really?
Hell yeah, you ain't seen them churches lately.
Wow.
Like Sister Jackson, you are behind on your tithes.
Sister
I'd have been
Jackson
like,
getting
Sister
bills?
Jackson, you out your motherfucking place.
Now see how y'all give the church why the
Really?
church doing that? That's how I feel when it comes to these charter schools. Why the charter school doing
That's
that?
like,
But that's
for example, but listen to me real quick. Let me say this for those believers. Okay, the Bible says, "Come as you are." Right. So when you going to church, you're going as you are.
See, but
Listen,
this
I know about the rules. I know about the rules.
This is why charter school and church is different.
I heard
We
we
know.
gonna rap.
Because
We
know.
gonna rap. We
Church-
gonna rap.
It also says in the Bible that God's word is a gift. A gift is something that's free. You're paying for charter school. Straight up. You're getting hustled at church.
and
You're getting hustled
at
at
this
church.
charter school that you're paying for is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Are you expecting your child to be sent
because
home?
you're paying for a
My
higher...
son ain't going to no motherfucking
because you're
but you know
paying
something?
for a
But you know
higher
something?
standard
But you know
that isn't available
You're
at
paying
a public
for a
school.
higher education.
But here's the thing.
Not a higher standard.
Okay,
It's
okay,
different.
okay. This be the
There's
last.
a
Go ahead, that
difference.
nigga.
But
This
check
is the
this
last
out though.
statement.
But check this out. If you ask anybody
I'm smarter than a
who
lot of
sends
charter
it,
schools,
but I'm telling you, you
Exactly.
ask. Listen, short,
And they
short,
dress a lot
short,
better than that,
short,
right?
short. Listen.
Hold on. We're gonna wrap this up.
Short,
Let's
listen.
wrap it. Let's wrap it.
If you ask anybody who kid go to a charter school, you say what you like about it, the first thing they're gonna
Nothing.
say is structure. They're not gonna even say education. I guarantee
Promise
you,
you.
they're gonna say
Structure.
structure. That's gonna be the first thing they say.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Give us y'all feedback and how y'all feel about this topic, especially those in Chicago or those who got kids in charter school. We'd love to hear from you.
Fuck them charter schools.
Hit us up, Stezo Radio at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on Google Play and Pinterest.